Okay, all right, cool. So we've kind of alluded to your story and certain things in it, and I think it's probably best to take it back to the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, share it with us. Like, take us through, like, from start to finish, how and what happened.
Right, I'll take you back. So the incident started. What happened on the 7th of the 6th, 2018. I just finished. I was on remand for something. I was staying at my sister's. I was split with my mother to my children at the time. I had a 2-week-old niece, Lola, and at the time there were no one was struggling with the feeds, but obviously because it's a baby, sometimes my brother-in-law would wake up and feed her downstairs, and then other times they'd have her upstairs, and etc. etc.
Okay.
Unfortunately, on this day, I woke up 6:15 in the morning, and I can still remember everything now, like the smell changes as I come through the rooms in my head, and everything. So I came down the stairs, came into the front room. There was a smell, like a musky kind of smell, not a nice smell.
Okay.
And it just didn't feel right. The fear, everything was horrible. I can't explain it. I've gone into the living room. Now, I saw my brother-in-law with my nephew next to him.
Okay.
And my niece is on his armpit here, obviously where he was feeding her. My nephew's looked at me and says, he said, "Jack, there's something wrong with Lola." Mm-hmm. So, because it was first thing in the morning, everything. My head was all pickled anyway. You know, it was your first wake up. I hadn't even been to the toilet yet or anything.
Yeah.
So I tried to get Lola, and it was obvious she was deceased. I tried to get her. My brother-in-law's woke up at the same time.
Okay.
Can you imagine? I've got my nephew's awake.
Yeah. How old's your nephew? Sorry to stop you there.
No, it's okay. My nephew Dylan he was 7 at the time.
Okay.
Cohen would have been 5. No, Noah would have been 5. Cohen would have been 2. And I've now got my 2 youngest nephews watching the TV. This is 6:15 in the morning. They're watching the TV. My sister on this sofa is asleep.
Okay.
My brother-in-law here, like I said, has got Lola. And next to him is my oldest nephew.
Got you.
So then there's mad panic now. My brother's woke up. I'm saying, she's not breathing. And it was a bit weird, yeah, because when there's children around anywhere, you always try and... I know this is going to sound crazy, but you don't want kids to hear anything or know what's going on.
No, so of course. Yeah, of course.
I'm trying to deal with Rob waking up, dealing with what he's done. My 2 nephews, they're all looking around. My nephew that obviously realises what's going on. He's in hysteric tears.
And that's a 5-year-old of it. He was 5?
7-year-old.
So he's old enough to take in what's going on, which is, again, a shame, I guess.
Yeah, massive shame. Yeah. That touches me, that does. Yeah, because... Yeah. Because he was sat there, and it turns out like he would have been sat there for like an hour with her deceased. So that breaks my heart. That massive.
Yeah.
So I had to then wake my sister up, but she kind of come around, and I'm waking up now. Now, can you imagine being my sister? So she's waking up. I'm going, Lola's she's not breathing. And the baby's in my arms, and it was horrible. An incident then happened with me and my brother-in-law that I'm not proud of, and I don't think I really want to mention. We then, the police and the ambulance and everything turn up, and then they take my sister and Lola to the children's hospital.
Okay.
I had to then follow, and then that's kind of where we get to.
Okay.
It was heartbreaking. It was.
Yeah, bro. Listen, I just want to say, bro, you're a brave person for sharing this. I know it's not easy. I can tell it's not easy. So just take your time to. It's no rush with it, and just feel free to. If you don't want to go into too much detail, you don't have to. But just off like the trauma of that, having to deal with that, anyone in the house at any age, I think that's massive. Yeah, it's massive, and to overcome. I don't think you could overcome that. I went through so my mum passed away a couple of years ago, but we went through something quite traumatic, with her passing, and I know how it is to try. Like even me, even starting to touch on it, it's emotional. It's emotional. It's hard, So I absolutely rate what you're doing, and bro, more power to you, and keep up. But explain where it went from there.
So from there, this is where I kind of messed up as a big brother and as an uncle, and as gonna cry. I think.
It's cool, bro. Take your time.
Because what I done was I went on a destructive path. So what I done, and to everybody else, it seemed like I was trying to cause other people harm. But in fact, what I was trying to do is put myself in situations or just be self-destructive.
Okay.
Like general things, fighting. The things I don't even want to talk about, just bad things, man. And
were you generally into? Did you dabble in the kind of the badness, or was it a complete character change?
No, I've always dabbled. That's what I mean. So,
right, cool.
It kind of like took me back to how I used to be.
Got you.
And then, it was bad. So then my sister, she should have had the attention, but instead, she did have the attention, but instead, obviously, I'm misbehaving, I'm being bad now. I'm getting a lot of attention on me, and he kind of took it away from her at a crucial time where she needed it the most. Okay. And that's something that I regret massively to this day. Okay.
But it's just, bro, it's one of those things. It's how you dealt with it. Everyone's on their own journey after that, like, you know, and you don't know how you're going to act until something like this happens. So you can't be sorry for it. Like, you know, you can only move forward with things like this, I guess, like, you know, and try and build off it, you know. So with all this kind of getting into trouble, where did that take? Were you getting into trouble with the police at this point, or were you just doing a madness and kind of just keeping it moving, like you weren't getting caught for it?
I'll tell you, because everyone will laugh on the manner, like. So I said, like, I don't want to talk about anything like this, really, but. So there's a well-known guy, local, he's a monster, huge, and I decided to take a few passes off him, not pay him on purpose, like just to cause myself ag that I knew I couldn't deal with, and then I ended up dealing with, and then whatever else. So that was one of the things, and then just generally causing trouble, mates, going out, getting drunk. I was using a lot of cocaine and a lot of sniff, a lot of it, and I was just being a knob, mate. Proper knob. That guy you didn't want to be around, that guy in a party that had be okayish until he had too many drinks and he'd turn and stop.
Loose.
Exactly that, man. And taking out just because I'm upset and what I've saw, like, I used to take it out on people, and I used to get really pissed off you when, like, someone says to me I'm depressed, and I'm saying, what have you got to be depressed about? What have you got to be depressed about?
Exactly.
You understand? When you see when something that bad happens in your life, it puts everything into perspective.
Definitely.
But now I'm positive. See, when people now get about their depression, I help them now. But then I was taking it as like an offence. How are you depressed? What have you got going on? Well, you've been on the sesh last night and you woke up depressed. Like, on,
like your troubles ain't real, bro.
When they could be, like, someone's problems could be small to us, but to them it's huge.
100%.
And I didn't appreciate that at all. Not at all.
Okay.
So I was enough. And I guess that's where we went with this bare knuckle, because there's two sides to it. So as I explained at the beginning, I'll slow down a little bit. When Lola had first died, you get something called a cuddle cut. Okay. Yeah. Now, certain children's hospitals have these. Some of them don't, and they rent them out. Now, they're like they've got like a refrigerated unit on them, and they're like a Moses basket. Some of them have a pulsating mechanism that makes it sound like the heart's beating.
Okay. And
I don't know the psychological ins and outs of it, but I just know that there's studies that say it helps the mother deal with the loss of a child.
Okay. So it's for them to, like, the mother to sit by the side of the cot for X amount of time until. Okay.
So she couldn't rent one. There wasn't one there to rent out to her. You don't pay for them, but they have them to give to you for a set period of time, obviously. So she'd done a GoFundMe page or a Just Giving. Yeah. And this is one thing that quite irritates me. So when Lola died, when Sarah put a status up, letting everybody know what happened, she had something stupid like 200 likes or like love hearts, wherever they are, loads of comments, shares, everything.
Of course.
A week later, she puts up about a cuddle cut. Probably gets 2 shares, a few comments, a few people might donate a couple of quid here and there. Yeah. I just thought, social
media is crazy, bro. You know, it's like everyone wants to act like they care. When it's all they have to do is hit a like from the comfort of their couch or whatever they're doing. Exactly. Write a little comment. And don't get me wrong, some people probably, people care. Yeah. But, you know, when it's time to put that into action, that's when you see, you know, who's really, you know, about it. You know, that's a shame. And what you're saying, so what was the ultimate goal in that? How much did they raise?
So she wanted to raise, it's £1,500 per cuddle cut. Okay, so she wanted to buy a cuddle cut. Yeah. Okay. For Birmingham Children's Hospital. I think she raised £200 and something, something like that, and that was over a period of like a month or something.
No way.
Yeah. So as I said, there was a few years disrupted by me being an idiot and just general grieving and all that kind of stuff, repairing ourselves as a family, and my sister repairing herself as a mother, and This is a very, 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 very strong woman, man. Very strong.
Yeah.
Repaired herself. And then I kind of had like, I don't know, man, like a moment, yeah. And I just thought, I've got to do this for her now. Like I've sorted myself out now. My head's a little bit clearer.
Yeah.
I need to raise the money for her.
Yeah.
How do I do that?
Yeah.
So you can imagine now, I'm sat in a council estate. Loads of my mates are bare knuckle boxers. Everyone's boxers, this and that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
my whole world kind of is around violence and
Yeah.
So I thought, I'll give. There's a bloke called Dougie Joyce,
Okay.
and he was like massive. He's now still. He's massive on Instagram.
Okay. I think I have heard of him. He's a
Yeah.
bare knuckle boxer, yeah?
Yeah.
And would I be wrong in saying Joyce is an Irish background, a traveling family? Yeah, it's quite a big
Very
family,
fighting proud
yeah,
family.
yeah,
Yeah, they're
yeah.
all very very fighting proud men.
Got
So I thought, I'll offer him out. So yeah, exactly that.
Mate, that's one extreme to another. That is crazy. So it's just simple as like, I need a fight. I want to get attention to the cause.
Yeah.
He's the biggest in the game.
Yeah.
Not even taking into account how much of a good fighter he is.
Forget that. Yeah.
I don't care, win or lose.
Yeah. 100%. That's me. Fight or win or lose. I'm more that kid in school. I fight anyone. I win or lose. I don't care about losing. That's not. Well, I care about it, but it doesn't affect my pride. My pride is standing up and fighting. As long as I stand up and fight, getting sat on my ass or bad, it's just part and parcel of anything. So luckily for the journey, I didn't realise that when I phoned Dougie Joyce, that Ben Hatchett was sat next to him.
Okay.
And Dean Itchwood was in the back, so I had witnesses to it. Yeah, so he was kind of like, he's going to be laughing watching this. He was kind of screwed. He couldn't get away from it.
Okay.
As the conversation progressed, he said, "Look, I can't do it because it was just because of who he is." He said, "I'd want 50 grand."
50 grand.
I said, "Mate."
For you to fight him?
Yeah.
For your cause?
Yeah. The size of him, the size of me, mate. Your man's like 16 stone. I'm coming in at like
Oh,
11,
he's that
9.
big?
Yeah, he's big. He's a lump, like, he's a lump.
Okay. I
He's
thought you was calling out someone who knew how to fight, but was kind of your size.
I know he's a lump. Yeah, no, he's a lump.
Oh, you're nuts.
He's a lump.
You're crazy.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, exactly. But that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I thought my craziness can raise money for cuddle cuts and fantastic. And it's not just about, right now he's about being crazy, but that's how you get the attention.
Of course, yeah, you got to. That's the thing with social media nowadays. Going back to it, like, you know, as much as a good cause you're fighting for, excuse the pun, like, you know, as you were saying, taking 100 laps of doing the 100 lengths of a swimming pool, it's just not going to cut it.
No.
Getting the media attention or the attention you want. And as going back to right at the beginning, I think you've done the most standout thing you can do. Like, you know, because there's an element of it there's a big element of it that, bro, you're going into a losing battle.
Exactly.
Possibly.
Yeah.
So this is like you're willing to really sacrifice yourself for this cause. Yeah. And I think that speaks volumes for the cause too. Yeah. You know? So can I go back a little bit before we got into the fighting or the decision to get fighting? Obviously you've went through like a big traumatic event and you never get over these kind of things. It's just you find ways to deal and manage them slightly better. Well, that's what I found with certain things that happened in my life, you know. But did you seek any like therapy or any kind of mental health help, or because it's our mental health at the end of the day?
Yeah.
Did you feel you needed it, or did you? Tell me about that.
I tried.
Okay.
I tried, but let's be honest. I'm in Birmingham. I'm not a millionaire, and it's Birmingham Mental Healthcare, and they try their hardest for everyone. But when you have, so my sister needed crisis. She needed a crisis team once, and I think they took like the next day they responded or something, mate.
I don't know what a crisis team is. Excuse me.
So like, say if you're feeling very suicidal or your mental health's got to a point now where you can't do anything apart from you need a team to come out and deal with you. Kind of like an intensive care mental health team. That is what it's kind of
Got
like.
you.
But they wouldn't come out to the next day. It's very stretched in Birmingham. So the help I was getting was either rushed or I weren't really feeling like they were listening to me properly.
Kind of just being put through that kind of, it's a tick box exercise kind of thing.
That.
Those generic questions, not really.
Yeah, not looking at me, not even. You can tell when someone's engaging with you and listening. When someone's just on a notepad like this and they're just going okay, and that's not. So anyone who works in mental health will rate you, and you're helping people out massively.
Yeah,
it's just in my incident.
Yeah.
I wasn't that far where I was gonna. Once I was, when I thought about it, but I've never gone that far where I've self-harmed or done anything that bad for them to actually come out.
Got you. So you ended up kind of getting yourself back to a place where you was kind of fairly stable, and then made that decision.
Yeah.
And was this also, although you were trying to, you know, fight for this cause, was it almost something to take your mind off it? It's a new kind of lane, a new, You know, a new start, a fresh you.
Exactly that, but without knowing. That's the point.
Okay.
I didn't know that I needed this.
Got it.
So that's what's weird about the journey as well. So like even meeting Dan, my man, and everybody else, everything's kind of linked up. And I know it sounds mad, yeah, but I fully believe that Lola is there 100% of the way, and that's not.
Yeah.
I'm not a mental case. I don't think there's a little girl running around, but she's with
yeah,
me, man.
yeah.
Like, trust me.
No. She's there, bro.
100%,
100%. I feel the same with my mum and things like that. Yeah, 100%.
Definitely, man.
They're there guiding us through, bro.
Exactly,
like, you know
bro.
what I mean? In those times. But yeah,
it's got me chills.
Yeah.
Yeah, she guides you, man. So where was you then?
Do you know what's crazy, actually? I just want to say something that, you know, we just had that little conversation about people being there, and it's, oh, bro, it's going to get me. You know, when I was waiting, you was a little bit late, innit? You was a little bit late, and I was on my phone. And you know, on like iPhones now, I don't know if you've got an iPhone, but if you swiped, maybe on other phones too, but like if you swipe right, so it takes you away from the apps, sometimes it gives you like a memory or a photo.
Oh, okay.
Literally, when I was waiting, had like one of my favourite photos of my mum. And I was like, because I've never met you before, and although I do this and I'm on camera a lot, and people think that, you know, it flows naturally and all that, it's still, for me, bro, it's still a thing. Like, you know, it's still a thing. I put myself in situations that, you know, are sometimes bigger than me, and I just try to just man up to him and whatever. You know, I'm not saying I was I
love that though.
really
I love
scared,
that.
but like today. So it was a little bit pressure for me. Like, you know, I want it to go right for you as much as I want it to go right for myself. Like, you know, and I saw that picture. I was like, nah, it's cool.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
That's
like, that's no gas, it's no bullshit. That's 100%. Like, you know what I mean? So just going back, it's just weird.
No, that's wicked, man. That's what it does, doesn't it? It brings back them
memories. It's that.
Yeah.
And even like, you know, if people think, you know, oh, like, bro, like he's chatting rubbish, like even they can think they're not really there or whatever. But for instance, just seeing that picture, she's there with me. She's just like, just the picture has gave me strength.
Exactly. She's with you.
Do you see what I'm saying? So you can't tell me she's not there. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because
no one can't.
Do you see what I'm saying? So yeah, I feel you.
No, thank you.
Sorry, I've went off on a tangent.
No, you
but,
haven't. That's fine.
Yeah.
So I think we got to the point where Dougie wanted 50 grand, didn't he? Yeah, so he wanted 50 grand. I said, look, mate, if I had 50 grand, I'd go and buy however many of these cuddle cuts. I'm obviously coming to you because I want to raise money and awareness. I ain't got the 50 grand.
Yeah.
He said, all right, sound. And I'll never forget this. He went to put the phone down, and I was thinking in my head really quickly, oh, what can I do? And I went, no, yeah, stop. I'll fight any one of you fighters. He said, what? I said, well, you've got a show coming up, haven't you, Manchester? He said, yeah. I said, I will fight any single one of your fighters. I said, tell me the weight, I'll go up. Tell me the weight, I'll go down. I said, any man. He's gone, you're a madman. He said, but I'll ring you in 2 weeks.
Wow.
I said, right, sound.
Do you think, sorry to stop you, do you think when he got that call, like he's like, I get these kind of calls every week, this is just another dude? Or is it like quite out the blue, someone offering him out? Is that like a big thing? He
gets other traveller men offering him out. I don't think he's ever had a man who's not a traveller man and isn't even a ring man, but like fighting man, offering him out just out of the blue. I doubt he's ever had any money in them calls.
That's mad.